What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. And in this video, we have a lot to talk about the Detroit Lions. Like a lot. So, I don't want to waste any time in this intro like I usually do. Let's get right into it. Ready to talk about a few things today, okay? The first thing we are going to be looking at is the injury updates on pretty much all of the players that have been dealing with injuries. Then we are going to be talking about how much praise Matthew Stafford has been getting from former NFL players. And finally, we are going to be talking about how the Detroit Lions are no longer an under the radar type of team. So we're going to start off with the injury updates. Now, a lot of you guys have a lot of questions about the injury updates. Some of them, they're not really good answers because we really just don't have any yet. Some of them, we have a complete answer, some we don't, okay? So just keep that in mind. The bye week is coming up this week, so that's always a good thing for these guys that are trying to get healthy. We're going to start this off with Matthew Stafford, who was dealing with an injury before last game versus the Kansas City Chiefs. He said it was a hip injury, kind of some part of the back, but I heard it also wasn't part of the back that he was dealing with the year before. So I guess it's not that, which is a good thing, but he did play in that game and he played outstanding. So I guess the injury couldn't really hold him back, but he did look at times like maybe he wasn't super comfortable. Either way, he's going to have basically 2 weeks to get healthy. So he should be fine by next week's game against the Green Bay Packers on Monday night. Next up, we have Rashaan Melvin, our cornerback. Now, Rashaan Melvin has been dealing with injuries really throughout the entire year. He's just been playing through all of them, okay? He hasn't really cared. He reminds me of Matthew Stafford. He's very, very tough. And Rashaan Melvin played 100% of the snaps last week, even though he's still maybe not 100%. You see what I did there? Okay. Anyways, Rashaan Melvin has been playing through a lot, and again, with 2 weeks rest, he should be really good to go for that Green Bay Packers game. He has been playing very well. Darius Slay is another cornerback that comes next up on this list. Now, Darius Slay did not play last week against the Kansas City Chiefs. He went out versus the Eagles, did not play against the Chiefs, and, it was apparently right up to the game time decision, okay? The game time decision, I guess, is 90 minutes before kickoff, and it was right up to that point where they decided, nope, Slay, you can't go today. So, Darius Slay did not go last week, but again, with 2 weeks off, him being a game time decision still means that there's probably a good chance he could go against Green Bay if there isn't any major setbacks. Then next up we have Danny Amendola, who practiced Friday of last week before the Kansas City Chiefs game, but as we know, he did not play. We brought up Tom Kennedy. Marvin Hall had a nice game, but since he was sitting out, that means, he's not playing, so that means he was injured.
Oh, bro, thank you for that because I wasn't understanding what that meant, bruh.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. What am I? Okay, move on. Danny Amendola, though, since he practiced on Friday, was definitely a good thing, but apparently he just wasn't ready enough to play in the game. He could have been helpful. It doesn't matter. Either way, he probably could play against Green Bay Packers. I think there's a chance that he does, especially the fact that he practiced on Friday. We'll see what he does as we get more updates throughout the week. But again, we have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then the entire week until Lions football. Too long, bro. That's just too long for me. Next up, we have Mike Daniels. Now, Mike Daniels also did not play last week against the Kansas City Chiefs, and I really want to see this guy against the Green Bay Packers. So, honestly, not too mad that he didn't play last week. I want to see what he does against Green Bay Packers, okay? I'm just excited. I feel like he's going to do some crazy stuff. Hopefully, he is back along with Deshaun Hand. Both of these guys are defensive linemen that we want to see back out there. Deshaun Hand hasn't even played this year, though, and we really don't know when Deshaun Hand is going to play. But the Detroit Lions did release 2 defensive tackles off of the practice squad, so maybe that's knowing that, okay, these guys should probably be healthy for next week. So that would definitely be a good thing. Next up, we have TJ Hockenson, who is our tight end. I think everybody knows that. Why did I say that? I don't know. But he's our tight end, and he was dealing with that kind of concussion when he fell down trying to jump over a player versus the Kansas City Chiefs after having a really good game, unfortunately. We were worried how serious that injury was going to be. Apparently, it has nothing to do with the shoulder at all. He is now in concussion protocol, so we'll see what happens when he gets back. But I guess the good thing is it didn't hurt his shoulder. He's not on IR, so I guess that's also a good thing. But really have no other updates other than that. Quandre Diggs, no updates at all at this point. Matt Patricia didn't give any updates on him. He said he doesn't have anything yet with Quandre Diggs, so we'll definitely have to see what happens when we come to that time. And Michael Ford, simply, he's okay. Because he went out last game and he came back in, and I just wrote down he's okay. No, seriously, it just says okay. Like, that's all I have. Okay, that's all I got. Matthew Stafford. So Matthew Stafford played a really good game last week. You could say he outplayed Patrick Mahomes, and apparently some old NFL players were not surprised. Now, we know about the Golden Tate thing that happened a while ago. If you guys can remember back months ago where Golden Tate said that Matthew Stafford was the best quarterback they ever played with, and all Seahawks fans were like, how could you say that, man? You are our quarterback. We got Russell Wilson. He's way better. And then there was that whole thing that went on there. Either way, he said it about Matthew Stafford. And some people are like, he's just crazy. He's just whack. But at the same time, it's like, maybe he is. I don't know. Okay, but another guy actually stood out that was with the Detroit Lions in his career at one point, but he also played with two other really good quarterbacks named Tom Brady and Tony Romo. Some people consider Tony Romo really good, some people don't. I don't know where you have him in that conversation. Either way, Tom Brady is really good. Okay, so he played with both those guys and Matthew Stafford, obviously, but Bobby Carpenter had a lot of good things to say about Matthew Stafford. He said he's always been a beast. Matthew Stafford has the best arm out of any quarterback he's ever been with. Okay, so that means Matthew Stafford has the best arm. And like I said, he was with Brady and Romo at one point. And he also said he's not far behind in decision making and field of vision. Okay, so that means he's basically saying, look, he's got better arm talent than both of those guys. And he's not far behind the other things. So I knew that he was a beast. Okay, that's basically what he's saying. Because now you see Matthew Stafford's stats, like, wow, this guy's doing pretty good. Yeah, because when you play a team like the Kansas City Chiefs, everybody starts watching and they're like, because all the people have that same mindset that, like, the Lions suck, Stafford, he's overrated. And then they watch the game and they're like, hey, who's this guy? He's playing pretty good. Stafford? I don't know who that is. And Bobby Carpenter was like, yeah, he's always been a beast. And this isn't the only guy we've heard of. Like I said, Golden Tate, we've also heard talk about him like this. We also heard Ryan Clark talk about him, who was an old NFL player as well. He said Stafford is special. Now, going back to the Bobby Carpenter thing, Bobby Carpenter also said this at the end of his tweet. He said that he has never had much help other than Kelvin Johnson, which I can pretty much agree with. Okay, he's had a little bit of help here and there, kind of mixed in every once in a while, but overall, I think this is maybe his best team that he's ever been on as a whole, and I think that's why we'll have a really good record this season, okay? So I like what Bobby Carpenter's doing. He spit facts. Ryan Clark already spitted facts, and then sput facts. No, it's not sput facts. That doesn't even make sense. Golden Tate sput facts. No, I'm not going to say that. He spitted facts. I don't think spitted's right either, but he didn't sput anything, I don't think. He spat facts. Spat facts. I mean, you're right. Okay, and then finally, like I said, the Detroit Lions are not going to be slept on anymore in the NFL. Why? Because they played the Kansas City Chiefs. And when you play the Kansas City Chiefs, and everybody's watching this game because all of these Kansas City bandwagons, I'm just kidding. I know there's a couple of real ones out there. I'm kidding. I just had to say it. I had to say it. Okay, but either way, when you get all these new people watching the game just to see the Kansas City Chiefs and you see that the Lions are playing this well and that they compete like that, Lions aren't going to be unnoticed anymore in the NFL. Now, obviously, other NFL teams, they probably should scout the Lions as if they are a really good team in the NFL. If you're not, you're really not doing your job right? That's how you should scout every team because we are all NFL teams, right? Every NFL team is great.
I mean, we're not ugly. We just stink.
Stink?
But I guess for the fan side and the media side, all that perspective, the Lions aren't going to be slept on anymore. I don't think so. I mean, the fact that they moved up for most people's power rankings after loss pretty much shows me that, yep, everybody knows who the Lions are now. The target is on your back. Maybe. I don't know if the target's actually on their back right now. I don't know if it is. Either way, the Lions aren't going to be slept on like they were coming in the season when everybody basically said they were going to be terrible and go nowhere. So, not me, but most people did. ESPN, not counting you out or anything. USA Today, I'm not shouting you out either, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, that is it for the video. If you guys have any comments, let me hear them in the comments because that's where comments go. Thank you, Prop, for watching, and I'm out.